Right now with our correspondent Hind Al-Khudari joining us from Deir al-Balah. So as there's talk of possibly restarting mediation talks when it comes to Gaza, Hind, give us a sense of what the situation is like on the ground right now, and particularly in the north.
Well, in the north and in the south, let me give you the last update where the Israeli forces targeted a service club in Maghazi refugee camp, where this service club was a shelter. At least one Palestinian was killed and 16 others were injured. But all of these injured are actually burned with severe burns, and there's no creams, no medicine to treat those wounds. And also there has been earlier another target in Nusayrat. 17 Palestinians were killed. Among them are children, and dozens of others are also injured, and they are also critically injured. And again, there's no medicine. Now, moving to the north, the situation in the north is actually horrifying. We're not only talking about Israeli airstrikes, but we're also talking about tanks, Israeli soldiers, quadcopters, Israeli shelling, interrogations, separating families from one another, a 20-day siege, and also no water, no food, no medicine, no ambulances, people trapped under the rubble, no civil defense teams. On all aspects of life, the situation there is horrifying. During the past couple of weeks, the Israeli forces have been literally wiping off any source of life in the northern Gaza Strip, but also, despite everything I'm telling you right now, there are still thousands of Palestinians in Jabalia, in Beit Lahiya, and also in Beit Hanun refusing to go anywhere else because they believe that nowhere is safe across of the Gaza Strip. Now, Palestinians are not only challenged by the ongoing military incursion in those areas, but also not having food for 20 days, not being able to feed your children is also a very big challenge. And we're trying to ask people, how are they coping 20 days without any food? And all of the UN missions and agencies to deliver food to those areas are actually being denied by the Israeli forces. Now, all of this comes as we're hearing testimonies from Palestinians that the Israeli forces are digging very big holes in the streets of northern Jabalia. They're putting people in, putting them in group, and also marking them with numbers and interrogating them and separating families from each other. Children, mothers are horrified by the scenes, and also it has been a very, very hard nights for those in Beit Lahiya, Jabalia. They're saying that they do not stop hearing shelling and airstrikes. So it's escalating. Every single minute is harder and harder for those under the siege, and they also feel helpless and very abandoned because they have been calling out. They have been calling ICRC for protection and for food and water. They have been calling all the civil defense teams, but no one is listening to them, and no one is reaching those areas. Now, not only that, some people are only requesting food for their children, and this shows how hard the situation is. Last night, the Israeli forces arrested at least 5 civil defense teams and also forced those teams to leave the northern Gaza Strip. So even if you stay, but if you get injured or if you need help, you won't find anyone to help you. So you're either going to die because there's no civil defense teams, ambulances or paramedics, because there's no water or food, and also because of the ongoing Israeli airstrikes and artillery shelling.
Hind, thank you so much for that update from Deir al-Balah in central Gaza.